Renault Kadjar 2. It is brand new, 2019 model, and Renault has tried to be sporty. Let's see why. The front is pretty small and it has metal inlets, and the grill is pretty small. You don't see it very good. I will try to show it in another clip, but the hood is very bulgy. So when you sit inside the car, you can see the sides, and it makes you feel like you drive something powerful. They made the car a bit lower with the lip here, and I wouldn't say that it's very off-road capable anymore. Not with these tires. I will get to those in a second. This is one of the top trim packages. So you have blue metallic paint, around 700 euros, and then you have black and chrome accents, and they make the car look aggressive, but not too aggressive, because the blue goes together well with the black. As you can see, now I'm standing at the rear of the Renault Kadjar 2, and look at this rear. These lights are nice. They are flushed, they're not too big, not too small, they sit just right. And this little white inlet, which is the lights that come on when you put the car in reverse, splits the rear taillights very nicely. The black plastic goes through the entire lower part of the car, and as well as in the rear, but it has been stopped by another layer of plastic which is grey, and then you have some fake exhaust tips, because the exhaust, you won't be able to see it, but it is actually here. And then you have your lower lights, and all in all, I mean, look at this presence. It goes very like a wave of some sort. It's hard for car manufacturers to make a rear nice, and I think that Renault has really succeeded with this one. Here's one of my biggest questions. This car comes with Michelin Pilot Sport 4. Those are not racing tires, but very sporty tires. On a family SUV with 160 horsepower and a, let's say, not good automatic transmission. You also have a lot of boot space. And here is the trunk. It's not very big actually, because they have put these floorboards enabled to use them as packing room. So you can divide the trunk into sections to be able to fit your groceries better, so they won't slide around. And it is a very efficient system to be able to reduce movement of your groceries, but it eats up space. You can remove them very easily, you see, but the extra amount of space that you get is not that much. Because they have no backup tire, why is there so little space in the trunk? I don't know. Here we are as a passenger, not a driver, and this is a mid-size SUV. So it's a little bigger than a crossover, and that means that you have quite a lot of extra legroom. It might don't seem that much, I mean just a couple centimeters, but they make a huge amount of difference. Don't forget, I'm sitting comfortably at the front right now, and I can sit really comfortable at the rear too. So that's a big plus. Well, inside, your feelings are very mixed, because you have this leather chairs, and they are very comfortable, and they are an extra that you have to pay for. Pretty expensive, around 1,000 euros, and they are white compared to the rest of the interior that is black. And this material, you can't find it on any other place in the interior. This is plastic, pretty nice plastic, but for example, here you have some fake metal, and when you put your leg against it, it feels like cheap plastic, because it flexes, it makes a sound. You have a lot of gadgets here. Some are easier to use than others. You cannot change the volume of the car, of the audio, with a wheel. It is hidden behind the steering wheel, and you will never see it unless you feel it. And then when you sit in it and you haven't driven it before and you're feeling around, it can be a bit hectic. In order to engage cruise control, there's this button just behind the parking brake. There's two modes, and then you control your speed on the right side of the steering wheel. Why didn't they just put everything on the steering wheel?
But let's try the acceleration. Yeah, even the traction control engages. You have four-wheel drive, but mostly the car will drive on the front wheels. The 5 best parts about this car: the cool French unique exterior, the panoramic roof, the petrol engine is smooth, nice, and is pretty economical, and I like how low I sit, and I can even see the bulges of the hood. The rear visibility, or the visibility in general, is very good. I can see out of every part of the car without any difficulties. What are my 5 worst things about the Renault Kadjar 2? The first part, the gearbox. It can sometimes be horrendous. The interior quality is at some parts, worthless. Look here, some parts of the interior, I get mad. You can't get it as a hybrid. You can't have any sport modes, and you don't have lane assist. The cruise control is very simple. They could have made it more advanced with lane assist and distance keeping and all those sorts of things. The placement of the cruise control is also very weird. They put it just behind the parking brake. The boot space is pretty small for a mid-sized SUV. You have a lot of leg room, but the bad side of that is that you don't have that much luggage space.
So, to conclude this car, it is trying to be a lot of things. On the one hand, it's trying to be comfortable, spacious and user-friendly. On the other hand, it's trying to be sporty, which I don't think that Renault has succeeded very much with. The tire noise is very high, and there are some rattles from the inside. And this is an update, and I think that Renault could done some better things, but they have made a very decent car. But compared to the competition, the Subaru XV. I am not so sure how it will perform.